Hi everyone, today I want to have a look at my new Victory DP40. So DP stands for Danish Pete. Pete's a super talented guitar player who a lot of people know through Anderson's TV. He's also a well-known hired gun that's worked with the likes of Tom Jones, Paloma Faith and Girls Aloud, just to name a few. The DP40 is a special edition of the V40 Duchess. It is a 42 watt single channel head with 3 power modes, a digital reverb built in and an effects loop. The DP40 is identical to the V40 besides the colour and a slight tweak to the reverb voicing, which according to Victory is intended to offer a little more depth and brightness to Pete's likings and sit somewhere between a plate and a hall reverb. So the amp's predecessor, the V40, has gained a solid reputation as an amp to use with pedals and can often be seen on mine and many others' favourite show, TPS. In an interview with Reverb, the amp's chief designer Martin Kidd, formerly of Confid Amplification, describes the design brief and starts by pointing out that the amp was designed as a one-stop solution for the musician who wants the amp, one amp that they can take to any gig. He goes on to say that the amp had to have a character of its own and be just transparent enough to bring out the best in overdrive and boost pedals. So what I want to achieve today is to show any potential buyers out there what the new reverb tweaks sound like, and delve a little into where the gain structure of this amp sits with different pickup types. So I'm going to try and demonstrate some of the highlights Victory talks about in the manual and on their website. I'll be doing this with the assistance of my Fender Longboard Stratocaster, which has stock N3 neck and bridge pickups and a Shawbucker humbucker in the bridge, and my trusty Les Paul Classic with 490 treble and rhythm pickups. Okay, so I'll start by turning this on. At the moment it's in standby mode. You can see a little arrow there with the preheat, so that is standby mode. Now you've got 3 power modes as I mentioned on this. So up is high, which is your full 42 watts. If we get the controls, we might start around middle. We'll put the voice switch off and the mid kick off. And let's have a listen to what it sounds like with everything halfway. So this is the Stratocaster on the neck pickup. There's your reverb at halfway as well. So you can hear there's quite a long tail on that reverb. So unfortunately we haven't got the V40 next to it to hear the difference, and I haven't actually played a V40 myself. But yeah, according to Victory, that's meant to offer a bit more depth and be a bit brighter than the V40. So I've been finding around 9 o'clock there seems to work pretty nicely for me. Cool. Alright, so let's have a listen to the same setting in the 7 watt mode. And what you're going to notice is that the amp is now breaking up earlier with the preamp volume in the same spot. You've probably already noticed this amp has a preamp volume and a master volume. So, pop that across to standby. It's not so obvious there on the neck pickup. Let's go back across to 42 watts and pop it on the bridge pickup for a minute. Okay, let's give that a try in 7 watt mode. So bridge pickup again, 7 watt mode. Okay, still clean. These are fairly low output pickups. Let's crank it up a bit and see if we can get a bit of gain happening. Okay, that seems to demonstrate my point a bit more. You'll notice as we turned it up, the reverb's got a bit more up front as well. Now let's turn it back to high mode, and what you should notice is you get a bit more headroom back and it's a bit cleaner. Right, we got there. That demonstrates my point a bit better. So next let's have a look at the voicing switch. So at the moment we're in voice 1, which is meant to be reminiscent of a 60s blackface tone, so like a Fender Showman, Twin, Vibrolux, Super Reverb. They're all sort of the Californian surf tones of the 60s. So let's flick it over to voice 2. Which strengthens the mid-range at the input of the amp for more punch and cut. So they're doing something on the input, they're not saying the input gain stage, so as in the first half of the first preamp tube, they're saying at the input, so it'd be interesting to find out what this spot change it actually makes to the circuit. But to do this, let's pop the Les Paul in and see if we can get some 60s Marshall plexi sort of tones. So let's go back to the same preamp setting. Now that's both pickups. If I flick the Les Paul onto the bridge pickup, we should get sizzling. So that's really sizzling there with the higher output pickups. Now if I pop that back into 7-watt mode, we should be cooking with fire. So you can hear by switching between two different guitars and leaving everything at the same settings, some of the options that gives you. It's a pretty versatile little amp. Okay, so that's in voice 1. So let's go over to voice 2. Yeah, I can hear what they're talking about there. So if we stick with the Les Paul, let's give the mid kick switch a go. So the mid kick switch boosts the available upper mid range. A nice added bonus here is that you can now get the mid range pot to act a bit like a second gain control. So the more you push the pot, the more the amp overdrives, especially with the humbuckers. So let's get a bit of a cleaner tone going here. Okay, mid kick on. Get off again. Back on. Turn that mid pot right down. Yeah, very cool. So at the moment you're listening to the stock EL34s, which can also be swapped out for 6L6 power tubes. Just keep in mind that Victory emphasises the change in the power stage, in the overdrive of the power stage, and the overall frequency response is going to be very subtle and only noticeable at high volumes. Now this is pretty decent volume right here. This thing's a loud amp and will keep up with a heavy hitting drummer. So you know, you can swap them out. A rebias is also required, which must be done by a qualified person. Not Henning Pauly, for anyone who's seen that video. Sorry Henning, I was scared for your life a few times there. But look, personally I think your money would be better spent trying different speakers if you're looking for a specific tone tweak. In my experience, the first and last things in the chain, i.e. the pickups and the speakers, often make more of a dramatic difference to the final sound than things like different woods, capacitors, cables, tubes, etc. Alright, cool. So the last thing I want to show you is how great this amp sounds when you drive its input stage hard. So I've got two overdrive pedals here for this demonstration. I've got the trusty old TS9 tube screamer for a mid-range overdrive boost sort of thing. We're going to set the gain down fairly low at about 11 o'clock and the volume up at around 2 to 3 o'clock, and the tone is, let's go around 3 o'clock there. So that's a tube screamer. I've also got a Boss FB2, which is a full frequency clean boost, which can be set as a flat boost or a treble booster. So I've got it set at flat, so it's just a full frequency boost. And let's have a listen to what it does to the front of the amp. Now I might switch back to the Strat as a starting point. So here's our neck pickup again. It's a neck pickup. Let's get the tube screamer going. Okay, let's turn the gain all the way down and turn the volume all the way up. So back to our clean sound. And the tube screamer. And go into the bridge pickup. Even a little bit voxy there. And the feedback booster. Clean, bridge pickup. Now we're cooking. Neck pickup. Back to our clean sound. Cool. Now just for fun, we'll pop the Les Paul in. Okay, so back to our neck pickup. No pedals. And this is a tube screamer. Pretty gnarly for a tube screamer, but the booster, just pushing it hard with a flat boost, I reckon sounds fantastic. So. And it's back to our clean sound. Neck pickup. Tube screamer. And flat boost. Alright, I think we'll leave it there. Hopefully you got something from that. At the very least you got to hear what the new reverb sounds like. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment below and hit the subscribe button.